All righty. Good evening, everybody. We are live according to YouTube, so that's what we're going to go with. And welcome to episode 12, I believe, of the Zero Hour Podcast. And I am here, of course, with my two partners in crime, Mr. Half-Ass Ready
Hoorah!
and Mr. Rural 2IC. And this week, our special guest is Prepper Now.
Hoorah!
Whoosh.
Good evening, Prepper Now. Thank you for coming. In case anybody is not familiar with your channel, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, my name's Prepper Now. I've been on YouTube for about 5 years. It started as like a prepper channel, and then I kind of noticed the space was, had a lot of great channels, really. And so my background is in like education and like geopolitics and stuff like that. So I kind of got into the news tip and started like a news channel type thing. And I'll do some, psychology of prepping and stuff like that. Every once in a while, I'll kind of show what I got and all that. But mainly the channel is just kind of trying to motivate people to get ready, because a lot of the things I see are very problematic, from debt to war to about 5,000 things in between. So yeah, so it's just, it's a information channel that kind of tries to direct everything through the lens of prepping. So.
Sounds good. And in case you're not familiar with my co-host, Mark, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Mark, and I'm half-ass ready. So I'm the only redneck on the panel. I'm also the prettiest on the panel. But yeah, I live in wonderful Western North Carolina, and my channel's pretty much all about prepping and survival. And occasionally you get a little dose of country wisdom. But welcome in, everybody. Get your questions rolling.
All right. And Rural, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? I am Rural, and I have a channel just as well as everybody here on panel. I'm the second half of the Ohio panelist here, and the third member of this wonderful podcast. So welcome in, everybody. Start dropping your questions.
All right. JD Prepping wants to know, Prepper Now, what did or do you teach in school?
I am of the history kind of tip. I teach world and U.S., and I used to teach American government and psychology, sociology. Let's see, I did a little bit of geography, so kind of everything. They have you do whatever, all kinds of stuff. But right now, I do basically U.S. history of the 20th century, and then I do world history from about 1200 to now. So I take them up. I start with like Genghis Khan, and then go up through, and we get to like opium wars of China and stuff like that in the late 19th century, very, very early 20th century. I'll touch on to like World War I and World War II at the end. So. But it's cool. They like it. I like this. I like it a lot. So I'm lucky.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, guys, get your questions in. Do Mark or Rural, do you have a question for Prepper Now?
No, so apparently they just don't teach those other subjects anymore that you used to teach, right? Because
it's funny, honestly, brother. I got into it because of that. I'm sitting there I've been teaching 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was in the restaurant business before, and I'm a recovering liberal, and I don't know how the mental illness kind of got away and subsided, but I started to wake up, and I was sitting there battle commenting with people online, and I said, this is just worthless. Like, I need to go and do something. And so I was kind of looking for another thing to do. The restaurant business I was getting in at 4:00. I had a brand new baby, getting up at 6, and it was too much. And so I went back and got a political science degree, which was worthless. And I was going to go try and become a lawyer. And my mom was like, she's a teacher for 40 years in Ohio. And she said, you're a teacher. And I said, okay. And I listened to her, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
And I went into history and everything because there's so much bias to the other side. I thought, well, maybe I'm going to go in there and I'm going to start wrangling with them on their own turf. And it's actually been pretty effective.
Yeah.
So, now I teach in a school that is kind of in a purple area. So the kids, it's probably about 55% conservative, 45% liberal. And so, the parents, they'll come in and they'll do like the meet the teacher night. And I'll just tell them, I'm like, hey, I teach them, real history. Like I had this world history. They come in, of course, they love talking about slavery. And I just said, look, you guys probably, everything you've heard about slavery is wrong. I said, first of all, the word slave comes from the word Slav, which were white Europeans that were taken by Arabs a few thousand years ago. And the reason why slavery's in the Bible and other very ancient books is because it's been around with human beings forever. And also, check this out, every single one of you probably has slave blood in you somehow, somewhere. Mm-hmm. And you can just see like smoke burning in some of their heads and stuff. And it just, and I took a whole course on it in college. Like I go in and I drop I can't stand bad information, which I guess is why my channel is gone when it's done. So I really do try to I'm not going to lie to them. I'm not going to push them one way or another, but I'm going to tell them the truth. I'm going to be completely honest with them. And I think this whole pendulum shift in the country is happening for a reason. I think people are just tired of it. The whole, just how much hypocrisy can you take?
Yeah, I watched your,
I mean?
I watched your last video right before we came on air, and wow, yeah, I could tell you're up to here with it, but
I am.
Yeah, when you call it hypocrisy, and that's exactly what it is.
It's just
it's such an inconvenient truth for people nowadays. When the truth gets in the way of their facts, I hadn't thought about it some of the ways you put it, and I appreciate the video. It was a good video.
Well, I appreciate you watching. I want the truth, good, bad, or indifferent, even if it goes against what I think. I just want the truth. And I think that's kind of where a lot of people have gone. There's been so much muddying of the waters of everything. You watch some story, and then 3 days later it'll come out that the video was edited. They don't tell you half the stuff that actually led up to whatever. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what is this? What? Just tell me the damn truth. Just like, what happened? Who was it? That's all.
Well, they can't tell you the damn truth because they have to give you their narrative. They have to give you their truth so they can tell you what to think before they can tell you the damn truth.
Yeah, right. I don't like being told what to think.
Yeah, I'm a little done with it too. I feel you.
Good.
I feel you.
I could tell with first 2 minutes of talking to you half-assed ready that you and I are going to get along real well. All of you. I mean, all of you. So yeah. I'm just tired of it. Just tell me what's going on. Don't shape it, shave it, narrate it, or whatever. Just tell me what's going on. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't do that, and so of course, it comes out later. Everybody figures it out. Like I'm listening to this story over in the UK, and they're sitting there talking about how they're shutting down the hotels. They have these hotels, they're housing the migrants and all that, and they're saying, oh, it's because of protests. Like, well, no, it's not because of protests, because these guys are going out and doing really terrible things to 17-year-old girls. Like this isn't. They're not protesting because they're there. Yep. They're protesting because these people are doing awful, like in jail kind of stuff, and they're hiding it. So right there, I was like, no, I'm just tired of that kind of stuff.
No, Nick, we can't restart. And thank you for showing up anyway. Okay, Nick.
Nick's always late.
He's a great guy.
So
JD was fun.
Yeah. JD wants to know if you find that kids nowadays have a shorter attention span.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, you can't even put on a video. I've always cut, class are like 45 minutes. So I'll do like what I used to call the 15, 15, 15. 15 minutes, you go in, you talk to them, you greet them, you tell them what's going on. You give them 15 minutes to work on something because, now everybody's so darn broke. Half these kids work just to have to support their families. So I try to get everything done in class. Plus I tell them, you're never going to go down the food line and get asked about Genghis Khan. The main thing is learning to get your shit done and being a good person. That's basically it. You can do those things, you're going to be all right in my class. But I'll do that. But now it's like you can't even do that. So now it's more like a 5, 10, 10, 10, 10 thing. So I have to keep it moving and grooving. But like you'll go on and put a video on, and these kids can't watch it if it's longer than 4 or 5 minutes because their attention spans are destroyed. And now they're all fighting to put the genie back in the bottle of the phones. And, most kids are compliant, but there's always some kid in the back trying to sneak it out. Like, in my day, we used to try to chew tobacco in the back of the room. So, but now it's the phone sitting back there, or they'll go to the bathroom for 10 minutes and, they're sitting there, they're messing around. But, I mean, the good news is, that's the bad news. The good news is that they really are smart and they really are starting to see the writing on the wall. I do notice that. The attention spans are gone, but the kind of the sick of the hypocrisy stuff too, especially with the young white males, because for the last 5-10 years, they've been told that they are the root of all evil in the world. And now what's going on is they're starting to revolt. They're starting to push back. And, it's honestly kind of a good thing. They're not just accepting their fate as being the POS of the world, and they're kind of reclaiming their power, and it's not like a color power thing. It's just I want to be treated like everybody else kind of thing. That's really what it is. Everybody, are we really going to be equal with everybody? Then let's be equal.
Tired of being the bad guy. Tired of being the bad guy, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel them.
Yeah. Yep. And I know a lot of middle-aged white guys that feel the same way.
Right.
We're all, I don't know. I can tell by the first 30 seconds of talking to you guys, you're good people, you're family men, you probably pay your bills and try to support everybody in your family, and you just want to just be left the fuck alone. And that's really what it is. And that's how we are. And it just, when everybody's coming at you like, you watch every movie's the evil right winger now and all this kind of, it's like, no, man, these people are the people that help build this country. Not exclusively, but want to help build the country, do a lot of things that add value, care about their freedom, care about their families, care about their country, and they just want to be left alone. And you have this people like, well, now we got to demonize them and turn them into the bad people.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's just to pull the wool over people's eyes because they're not. And the people that are doing that are really the bad people. So, the kids are, honestly, I'm kind of happy with the way the kids are trending.
Right.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. Where I'm kind of detached with the younger generation. My kids are all grown, and the grandkids are too little to be in that position yet. So, Rodney Middleton wants to know if we all think or agree that survival skills should be taught in all schools, all school children and above. Rodney's coming from Australia.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
Do we think survivor skills should be taught in school?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, if I was in Australia, I'd damn sure want to teach, because every fucking thing there will kill you.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Rodney. I didn't
got
mean that.
spiders that eat birds. No thanks.
No,
I'm okay with most things, but if you got a spider that's big enough to eat a bird, I'm not going. That's just
Well, we should. I don't know, man. Look, at least it should be offered after school as maybe some kind of like Boy Scouts. It should be offered maybe after school. But I mean, these are good skills to know whether you want to know them or not, right? They're just good skills to know. But hell, at least teach them something about, maybe in history class, like what the hell 20 years ago now, what happened in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of something probably wouldn't hurt. But again, I don't know if it should be part of the curriculum, but it should be offered like band or something after school. I don't know.
Like an extracurricular. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Rural, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I'm agreeing with that, but my mind went to actual survival skills on if nothing ever happens. Like we dropped home ec and all that, how to make cookies and sew your hole in your coat that you tore, or balance a checkbook and things like that. Those are the survival skills that should not be an elective and should be taught every single person.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, when they taught us how to like balance a checkbook and things like that. They don't do that anymore. Yeah, so Prepper Now, what do you think?
Well, no, I agree. And it's funny, they are starting to kind of move that way. There's like more personal economics classes are starting to become like more. There's starting to be more of those. But I remember seeing this video. It was probably 5 years ago. But there's this football coach in Alabama. And he brought all of his team around him and he taught them how to change a tire. Like stuff like that. Like there should be something like that where you learn how to change a tire. You learn, maybe put that into the driving test thing. Do you know how to use and unwrap a driving roadside assistance kit? Do you, know all kinds of stuff like that? Do you have a blanket, or, why shouldn't you run your car when there's covered with snow because you're going to get carbon monoxide poisoning? Just basic kind of like 101 stuff like that. I agree with rural too. I had home ec. I'm old enough to have that. And I remember I went in and they taught us how to make, like the first things they did was like make breakfast, like eggs and bacon and stuff like that. And they had all the little cooktops all over. And to this day, my 13-year-old came in and she's like, "Hey Dad, I'm hungry." And I said, "Well, make yourself some eggs, like, it's breakfast or whatever." And she's like, "Well, I said, you're going to, at one point, you're going to have to go and learn how to cook. Like, so start now. I'm right here. Don't worry. Nothing's going to go off. You start the pan, you put it on the, 6, 7, 8, whatever on the number dial, and you spray it down a little bit of oil. You crack a couple eggs. You take your fork and spread them around, turn off the thing, put them onto your plate and eat. It's not, we're not rocket science here." Right. So there is like kind of a deficiency in that just basic skill stuff. So is it important for survivalism? Yeah, that's important, but also just basic. I don't know how, whatever Rural said was perfect, like non-SHTF kind of stuff, just everyday kind of things. That's they need to learn that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just basic life skills.
Yeah.
Well, and throwing it in there, he pointed out something really good. You go back old school, you have to wake up, go outside, go to the chicken coop, get the egg, come back in, put the firewood in and all that. We open the fridge, have a dial indicator to control the heat, and have all these fancy spatulas and non-stick whatever.
Yep.
And we still won't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just different times that we grew up. We're all close enough to the same age that we grew up in an era where we were cooking ourselves breakfast at, 10 or 12 years old, know, and that's just not done anymore, So
no, it's not.
Now you just DoorDash things or whatever.
Well, when I was in 8th grade in our school system here, they do it different now. They do it. You do 4 classes in one semester and 4 classes in the next semester. But when I was in school, you did 6 classes all year, right?
Yeah.
So we had to take this home ex, shop, art, and the Castilian, of course, being in the South. So we learned for 9 weeks, we learned how to build things in a wood shop. For 9 weeks, we learned how to cook and sew. For 9 weeks, we learned how to paint, sculpt, draw. And then for 9 weeks, we learned how to square dance, how to foxtrot, we learned all that. We learned proper etiquette, where the fork went, which fork you should use, wear the napkin in your lap, not in your shirt, Jethro. But these were common life skills, right? In the South, these were common life skills.
When's that video come out?
What?
The,
Common
the-
life
the-
skills video?
no, the square dancing and
Dude, let me tell you, for an 8th grade boy to get to dance with the other girls, it was pretty cool. So, you
fair
know,
enough.
but
All right. Yeah.
I'm just saying that. And then in high school, I had to take a personal economic class. It was required.
Wow.
And I learned how to not only balance a checkbook, but how to shop, how to budget these things, which I also learned in Boy Scouts. You know, how to budget and shop and do the math it took. If you had 20 people eating, you had to have enough food to feed 20 people, right? So we learned those things. But, oh, you would, Coyote. You would.
Yeah.
Why?
Chat's out of control. But yeah,
That's
like
real.
Blackbird said he took auto shop in school, in high school. You know, yeah, there used to be, you could take auto shop, you know.
Yeah, we didn't offer that at my school.
Yeah, now they don't teach them any like trade skills. Not many anymore.
Well, that
Right.
like that's starting to come back too now because
Yeah.
they're noticing, like, you know, it came out that they're going to need, because all these stupid power centers to do all the tech stuff, they're going to need electricians like nobody's business. So while they're pushing people off to go to college for an Eastern basket weaving degree for $100,000, they should have been pushing them to go and get, you know, an electrician apprenticeship and learn how to wire, you know, data centers and stuff like that. They're coming out making 80,
Yeah.
100 grand, you know, on
Yeah.
their first 2 to 5 years. And so my students, I tell them, I say, unless you're going to college because you know exactly what you know, you're going to go into nursing or you're going to go into something, you know, there's still some engineering degrees and stuff. Like, you've got a good path. All right, great. If you don't know what the heck you're doing, man, go get an HVAC, go get electrician, become a plumber. I had this kid last year. I asked him, you know, I go around, I'm like, what are you all going to do when you get out of here? He's a senior this year. And he said, I want to become a plumber. I said, you are probably the smartest kid in this class.
Yeah.
We're going to need
Yeah.
plumbers a heck of a lot more than we're going to need another person doing, you know, Eastern African lit or some crap like that. So,
Yep.
but they're the kids are starting to wake up. They are, because their older brothers, sisters, or cousins or whatever, they're not able to be hired. They went out and went to some college. They're in debt and they're working in a Starbucks. And they're like, well, I'm not doing that. So I'll get through and get my degree, and then I'll go and become an electrician or you know, a carpenter or whatever. And so the trend is good. That's, unless it's very like preliminary, it's very new, but the trend is starting to happen from what I've seen in 10 years, where it is starting to get pushed that, cause, you know, they're not dumb. They're figuring it out. They're reading the writing on the wall that
Right.
the old path for them, like the millennials are screwed. They got worked over, but now the Gen Z and the others, they're starting to wake up and figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good because, yeah, I mean, nowadays, I'd say unless you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, college probably not going to work out so good for you.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. My son's a millennial, man, and that kid, when he was in school, it's every teacher in every school was continuously telling him he's not going to amount to poop unless he goes to college. Everybody on this panel, everybody in that chat went to school with someone they knew was not going to college, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all did. And man, that's what I love about Mike Rowe and some of these other guys now. They are really pushing this trade school thing. And it is not a shame to go into a trade and make more money than a damn dentist as a body shop technician. You know, there's no shame in that game.
No.
And we shamed those kids into not wanting to do that.
Yeah.
And now society is paying the price.
Yep. I agree.
Oh, here we go. Nick's actually got a good question that I've touched on before. Is fear mongering the best way to promote the cause for our channels?
No.
I mean, you know, people get accused of the whole fear thing. You know, I mean, if Kissing Puppies was going to sell a channel, then everybody would be doing it. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's fear mongering to be realistic. Like my video today, I basically said I don't see a nuclear war happening or anything like that. I was kind of talking about how there are strikes going on in the Middle East and like airstrikes, and then same thing going on in Eastern Europe. And I said, look, this is just going to be a slow roll, but it wasn't like I was sitting there, trying to freak people out or anything like that. Fear mongering can go many different ways. I think you need to be realistic, but also I think just everything is fine and we're just, going to be all right. When you're $37 trillion in debt, you've got a new war every 6 months popping up across the world somewhere. I don't think that's fear mongering per se, as it more of a realistic kind of trend towards the world going into some bad ways. Were they fear mongering in the 1930s when all the countries were getting prepped for the big daddy? No, they weren't. But that's the way it was going. The trend was going towards a global war. The trend was going towards global financial crisis in 2007 and 8 and all that. So, I think going and telling people that they need to prepare because bad things could happen. I can see how that might be an element of fear, but at the same time, bad things always do happen. But if you're in a place where you're prepped and you have everything you need, then when the bad thing happens, you've already kind of gone through the whole psychological trip through it and you're ready. You're like, okay, I got to go out to my shed and get my generator and add the gas I already have and get it started because I got to keep my fridge on so my $800 worth of food doesn't go bad. So at that point, I'd think, I think fear mongering, if you're sitting there saying that the sky is going to fall every day on your channel, yeah, I could see that. But if you're like, hey, there's a lot of inflation out there and you need to be learning some skills and, fixing tires and learn how to grow tomatoes and maybe you should get some chickens and stuff like that, I think that's just common sense.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there are a few channels that do the sky is falling every day thing, but there's not many. Most of us are just trying to get people to realize that, they need to get ready for something, whatever that may be, a weather event or, some financial difficulties. Maybe it's just a personal financial difficulty, but something like that. So, Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Look, I don't think it sells. I think it gets clicks, but I think I was just looking at Mike at Hudson Valley's question too, and
I'm going to put that one up.
And J-Man, what do you think about AI? I can combine it all. Look, everybody's on this news kick right now, and our prepper chat, I think people will tune in more often for information that might save their life, not information that threatens their life. I don't feel like it's going to help our channels grow. I think we should be putting more out there that will help them, not panic them. And I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just not.
Yep, I agree. Earl?
Yeah, it's one, and it's one that I've been looking at because you only get the perception that you see, right? And so when somebody puts out a problem, whether it is censorship or whether it is fear mongering or whatever, we only get to see our end of it. Unless we're exposed to it, we don't know the problem. That's kind of why I'm really happy that Prepper Now is here to be able to talk about, because he's got it with the younger generation. My last live stream, I talked to somebody, the younger generation. I like to see what everybody's viewpoint is. And yeah, I'm going to end it by saying, yeah, I don't think fear mongering is any good, any way, shape, or form.
No,
I agree. Okay, so J-Man wants to know, what do you think about AI?
Well, I'm going to combine that with what Hudson had to say. With the let me go back to his. He said, however do you think the censorship will go? I think AI is being put in place to aid and abet the censorship thing. I think AI is kind of being put in for a modern day surveillance state. I think that it's, I work with AI on like my education thing, but it's like Grammarly. Like I'll have it, correct a thing I'm writing up or make some questions for a worksheet or whatever. It's not sitting there running the show. But at the same time, I sit back and I see all the AI stuff, and there's a promotion of it, and then you look at all these data centers they're putting up. I personally think it's all being put in place because they can monitor everybody in real time. And I'm not saying it's going to go this way, but like it definitely could go in a way where it's like the movie Minority Report, where they're sitting there trying to figure out pre-crime. And, if you look, I'm real concerned at what's going on in the United Kingdom. And I've actually been pleasantly hopeful with what's going on here in America. But like in the United Kingdom, first and foremost, I've read today, they have more incarcerated people than any other Western country on the planet, America included, if you go by percentages. The other thing is, if you go and you post anything on a social media that they think is, harassment or anything for any kind of a subset of a protected class person, you can use your imagination. They're knocking on your door. They're not like sending you an email to take it down. They're at your door. Like, and there are even people that have been thrown into jail. There was a lady that's about to get out, but she's put in jail for 6 months because one of these new neighbors, as I like to call them, in the hotel, he did something terrible to a bunch of literally toddlers. And she said, I think the person, and she basically threatened his life, right? Because she was mad. And she got put away for 6 months. That kind of stuff is where I get worried about with AI, and I think we need to make pen and paper great again, to be honest with you. But
amen.
I just, the AI,
Amen.
I don't think it's I think it'll do some things to some jobs and all that. But my real concern is our liberty, our ability to free speech.
Yep, I agree. Rural, what do you think between AI and the whole censorship thing?
I agree. Everybody's kind of on point exactly with the way that I'm thinking. I think AI is going to do a massive piece on censorship. I do think that it's going to be like most of the way the government goes. Once they take a little chunk, you'll never get it back. So you need to exercise as much of your First Amendment while you have it, because the way that I see it is it's going to probably go the same exact way as most of our freedoms, where all we do is whine and complain and hashtag it, and then we move on to the next thing that they're taking away.
Yeah.
Yep. Mark?
Well, look, Mike at Hudson Valley Prepping, they're not gonna censor me. Okay. They may censor me on YouTube, they may censor me on everything, but the people who matter to me and need to hear what I have to say are going to hear it come out of my mouth right out in my community, and they're not going to censor me. This platform can be a very bully pulpit. You can reach many people, but the people that matter when the shit hits the fan are right outside my door and right down the street. And those people know how I think and are going to hear what I think about everything. No, I agree, Mike. They're going to censor everything electronically they can. And we spend so much time in this box, in this electronic box that we live in, that we don't feel like we can communicate what we feel, what we know, what we need to teach verbally. And we need to everybody on the channel, everybody in chat, everybody that can hear my voice, we need to start practicing face-to-face, being able to articulate what you believe and not piss everybody off. They're not gonna censor me until the good Lord takes me home.
Yep, I agree. And the censorship thing on this platform platform, as Prepper Now calls the Borg. Yeah, the Borg don't like truth, and it don't like people helping other people.
Yeah.
So that kind of puts us all in the same boat. And what Katrinka was saying about ChatGPT, Katrinka, that's not really AI. That's just a language model. That's not the true AI. The stuff that we're worried about is the stuff that we don't have access to, that the government and the military and that are using now. The stuff that we have access to is like child's toys compared to what they got. So,
yeah, the big worry is AGI. That's the one that's like, it's I think aggregated general intelligence, and that's the one that can like learn and can think and all that. Right now it can like craft your email, make it grammatically correct, or give you some ideas to get like some dinner or whatever. But like the AGI, when that comes, that's like Skynet. That's the kind of stuff that like I'm really worried about, because that's the one that's insidious and can be used for a lot of evil. Those are the ones that are like being used, that are like blackmailing the computer guys or whatever, because it's thinking on its own, and it's like, ooh, it's almost got like a existential kind of thing to it, where it's like you can't shut it down and it'll find a way, that kind of stuff. That's Skynet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm drinking, Nick.
And the problem is we all know we shouldn't be doing this, but they're going to keep doing it because it's an arms race now. Even though they know they shouldn't do it, they're going to keep doing it because they don't want China or Russia or whatever to get to it before they do. We do. And the same thing with China and Russia. They're trying to beat us and the other one. And so it's just going to keep on going. Mm-hmm. And even though we know it's a bad idea, there's just no stopping it now. So,
well, it's about profit too. I mean, look, any corporation don't want another corporation to beat them to the punch on it. And look, this is part of living in a capitalist society. The corporations want to make money. And the thing about it is, for us, we make ourselves so stupid that we just fall for whatever the crap they put out there, right? Mm-hmm. So, educate yourself, and if it feels right in your heart, do it. If it feels wrong, stay away from it. We trust this box that we live in to tell us how to feel anymore. Mm-hmm. We can't even read the Bible anymore without some interpretation from something electronic. When you open yourself up to these things and listen to your gut, you can defend yourself from them. But, AI makes life easier for folks inside the box. The AI is not going to be there when shit hits the fan and you have to go out here and split wood. There's no AI going to help you split wood, right? So you have to prepare yourself, your body, and your mind for this eventuality in the prepping community. This AI may very well take your job, and you may have to split wood all day, every day to keep your family warm. So,
yeah, I think.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just saying, I think that's a good possibility about the AI taking a lot of jobs.
Well, I think Mark said something really critical. He said, it's making decisions for us. And I think that's another element, that they want to take out our ability to think for ourselves and make those decisions. They want to sit there and go, oh, well, we've got a list of things for you to consider. Well, maybe what I need to consider isn't on that list. Maybe what I need to consider is something completely not, that you don't want me to consider. You know what I mean? I've seen that, and I'm getting worried about that too, where we're getting too much asking all these things to give us the answer, and we're not finding out the answer ourselves. Yeah. Or just trying to, say, maybe this isn't the answer I need. Maybe what it's promoting to me is not good. So.
Are you finding your students using AI more to do reports and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I go pen and paper. I really, at this point, it's and even with that, if they have the phone, they've got this app called Gauth AI, GAUTH.ai. You take the phone, you hover it, doesn't mean it was paper or whatever, hover it over the paper, and it gives you all the answers to everything.
Wow.
I mean, they can cheat in ways, man, that you have no. I'd take it all out. There's no. I call it 1987 mode. I said we are in 1987 mode today, folks. We are not doing any of this stuff. I don't want to see anything technological, whatever. You're going to have books and paper, and you're going to use your freaking mind and not some screen or whatever. Now I'll have to use the screens every once in a while for certain things, but that's more like supplemental. But at this point, because of all that, and it's becoming such a big thing, they can cheat. They can cheat like anybody's business.
Wow.
Yeah, back in our day, we had to write it on our hand or something.
Yeah. Oh, my brother was smart. His buddy would like take it. He'd take a pencil, and he put on the side of his pencil, A was 1 dot, B was 2 dots, C was 3 dots, and D was 4 dots. And he would sit there and put on the side of it, starting at the top. He'd put all the answers that he got because his buddy would write them down, and he'd put like 1 dot, 3 dot, 2 dot, 2 dot, 4 dot, 1 dot, all the way down. I'll never forget. He showed me. That's how he cheated. It was some class he didn't want to take, and he shouldn't have done it. But that's exactly how we used to do
man.
it.
Yeah, that movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. While those kids are cheating with like the notes on the sunglasses and shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was I graduated in 1985, so yeah, that movie's real.
So Love and Life says they have prepared batteries, and now they're starting to explode. It doesn't matter what brand. They store them in a cool, dark place. Any advice on storing batteries long term? Now, I've been reading the chat. Apparently, this is pretty common right now.
Really?
Just, I don't know. Is it just, I was going to say the brand, but she said it doesn't matter what brand. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't had that problem.
No, I've had it happen. My wife and I just the other day had bought brand new batteries and hadn't put them up long, and they were corroding inside the package. Yeah, I don't know that it's some kind of quality. Look, quality has gone in the crap.
Way down.
But I don't know whether it's a quality issue or it's the way we're storing them. I don't know any new fangled way to store a battery. You just don't want the ends touching each other. I know that.
Right.
Cane Corso has a good one. My grandma used to do the same thing. My parents keep them in the freezer. Maybe that might help. I remember I think it was my grandma used to do that too. You go in there, and get like some ice for your drink, and it'll be a pack of Duracells in there in a bag, sitting there in the ice, bin or whatever. So I know exactly what they're talking about.
Hey, whatever works. I always thought the cold drained the batteries, though.
I don't know. Maybe.
I've always been told cool, dry place.
Right.
Don't allow them to touch.
Right.
And the packaging that comes in doesn't allow them to touch. And look, we have thousands of batteries stored here. And just recently, that problem has happened here. And I don't think it's anything we're doing wrong. I think it's a quality issue.
Yeah, I think so too, because Love and Life was saying they store them in a cool, dark place. So,
I feel like everything's gone down in quality.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like everything. I don't care what it is, from your fruits and vegetables to your batteries to your hammer to your tools to your car. Everything.
Yep.
Everything is nothing like it used to be.
Yep.
Yeah. Everything's disposable.
Yes.
Even your car.
Obsolescence.
Yeah.
What the hell is Granny's corners?
Did you need to go at 8:45, Prepper now?
I'm giving another 10 minutes. I'm enjoying y'all a little too much. I was
Good deal.
Okay.
I was like, I can sneak another 10 minutes in.
Which
sounds good.
I've got a thing. I've been slowly kind of reading in the chat there, and I've got a little tear going on because I'm watching my daughter say things, and the other people are going back, and she's the chip off the old block. She is standing firm. Everybody's treating everybody good. There's no arguments. But I'm just watching my little princess explain herself and all that. And that right there is exactly what chat is for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to. Nobody has to agree on everything all the time.
Nope.
You can have a little.
No,
debate.
you're not supposed
Nope.
to. You're just supposed to
Right.
be respectful. That's all.
Right. I mean, but yeah, right. As long as you're just being respectful, and you can disagree on lots of things.
I think
Well,
she
that's
just gets her
It's
debating.
the damn
for me.
huge problem with this country right now. That's why we're so damn divided, because we can't freaking disagree with each other without hating our guts.
Yep.
It's like it's personal. Yeah, it's not personal. You're an idiot, and I'm not. So, I mean, holy cow, man. No kidding, man. It drives me nuts, man. You go against whatever anybody's saying, and they immediately go to gut punching you, man.
That's
Oh,
why,
yeah.
I mean, I have not shown my face since basically I had 400 subscribers, and I still won't, because I know that if someone were to know who I was, they'd call the school, you know, this kind of, they got to cancel them. So I'm just like, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. So,
And you're probably right about that. So,
Yep.
oh, I know I am.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
I
he's
am.
right. Yeah, he's right.
yeah, it's getting ridiculous. It's not. It's everybody. It's even in Congress.
Yeah. Oh, it's
That's
worse there than it is anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of what's wrong. They can't agree on everything because well, it was their idea, and even if it was a good idea, we're not going to vote for it because it wasn't our idea.
Yeah, because it was his idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the dumbest
Jiminy
thing ever.
crickets, y'all.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know why people do that. They take it completely personal that everything that is in their mind is 100% set in stone, factual, cannot be changed whatsoever. And it goes right back to, if I put a piece of paper between you and me, I have the letter A, you have the letter B, and I go, hey, I see A, and you go, you're a liar. No,
Yeah.
I'm not. I see A, I'm correct.
Right.
You don't. Perception.
Yeah,
It's
just,
perception. But yeah.
that's like I said, that's a big part of what's wrong with the world is just
Mhm.
that everybody's right and everybody else is wrong.
Peace out, Rick and Karen.
Oh, Kane, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Believe me, these two guys right here know.
A lot longer than 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and then it just the world's just such a look at the housing prices. Let's
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about the housing prices. Me and Prepper now talk about the housing prices every now and then. It's getting
yeah.
ridiculous. I mean, people can't afford. You can work 2 jobs and still not be able to afford to live indoors. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
the
don't-
average price is like $500,000 now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like how? My wife and I do all right. Like, we can't afford that. I
Yeah.
don't know how
right.
anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the prices on the houses are nuts. But I think it's all gonna, in the next little bit, I think we're gonna see a crash.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
agree.
Too much. It's too much.
Yeah. The market will self-correct. I agree with that.
Well, and I don't know where
Sure.
we came from, where we lost like the morality of the country, where in the older days, we used to fight against poverty. Now we purposely
Yeah.
put people into poverty and then we fight poor people. Like
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, we're making
it's-
it too expensive to live, and then we're going to make homeless a crime.
Yeah.
It's
It's
insane.
it's the new plantations.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We just need to keep poor uneducated. I started to say stupid, which is the wrong word. Poor and uneducated folks in our plantation, and and housing prices, car prices, these big purchases, hell, refrigerators and stoves and washers and dryers, these things that you need to go in these homes, that they're so out of whack to what people can afford.
Mm-hmm.
They can't afford it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Proud dad moment right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you,
Princess,
Alex.
Princess Rural.
I think we changed it to Buttercup.
Buttercup. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Buttercup
No,
now. It is definitely Buttercup.
Yeah, Nomad had a good point here. Get your 15-minute city. Yep. I got a feeling that's coming, or at least that's going to be attempted. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to pull it off, but
Oh, they will. 100%. All you got to do.
Oh, they're
make
going to
it
people
for
line
life.
up for it. They can't afford anything else. They have to take the government handout.
I think that's all part of it too.
yeah,
It's definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely we make it so hard to progress from the government handout to standing on your own 2 feet. Listen, I work with a person who was at one point homeless, living in a vehicle, and they worked their way out of the Section 8 housing.
Mhm.
And she tells me all the time how difficult they made it for her to work her way out of the plantation.
Mhm.
It is ridiculous once they get you on the welfare doles, how hard you have to work to stay on it, and it make it impossible for you to get off of them. It is a giant conspiracy to keep them.
Rural, I got a funny feeling you've been teaching her a few things.
Oh, I mean, she's a smart kiddo, and I'm super proud of her.
I feel like she might have been watching my channel a little bit.
Probably. That's probably it.
But yeah, somebody said something about van life. You know, that's the new American dream, living in a van down by the river. But I saw something the other day that they're trying to make that illegal too.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, come on now. You got to give these people a chance, you know.
Yes, Kane, it is.
Mhm.
I love Kane Corso. He makes me laugh. Every time he makes me laugh.
Yeah, see, I think Rabbit's got kind of a thing of what I've been thinking. So many people are scared of taking away the Second Amendment, but while they're going through and defending that, you're not taking my Second Amendment, they'll just chip away at the First Amendment. And then what are you protecting then? Why have a Second Amendment with nothing to protect?
I agree.
Yeah.
Rodney, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you, Rodney. Enjoyed having you.
In there, but yeah, Rodney's down there in Australia. I don't know what time it is there, but it is probably early in the morning.
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah. So, well, we're just about out of time.
Yeah, we're getting down to the rubbing anyway.
We're getting there.
Yep.
Prepper, now, what you got? Any last thoughts? There was some words of wisdom.
We have to keep talking about stuff. We have to keep making people aware. And, you know, it's not a fear-mongering thing, but I think all of us here, and I'm sure most people in the chat, read the writing on the wall that the walls are closing in on this experiment we call America, where you're able to say what you want and live how you want and all that. I don't think that's kind of where they want to take us. I think they want to take us to a place where we are spoon-fed our information and everything, and we sit there and clap and beg the state for the little crumbs we get and all that, and say,
Amen.
thank you, sir, might have another. I think, that's why channels like ours have never been more important. I do notice some good trends, but the clock is ticking. So we really do have to make an effort to awaken people that AI can be used for evil things. Yeah, there's some good things, but there's a lot of bad too with all of it. Same thing with like digital money. We're talking about taking away the 2A. If they turn your money off, trust me, most people will turn their guns in. And that's exactly all that kind of stuff is what it's all being put into this, what I call a digital panopticon, which is basically put us all in a little box and watch every move and do everything they can to make it so if we're not compliant, then you're not going to be seeing too much of us. So,
Yes.
Yep, I agree. Rural, do you have any words of wisdom for last thoughts?
Well, I'll do last thoughts. I'm not sure about words of wisdom, but I want to thank Prepper Now and Chef's Kiss. You're saying there needs to go on a bumper sticker or T-shirt or something. I would buy it, but I do want to remind that because we talked about fear mongering and all the other stuff. Make sure that you're prepping, that nothing happens or small stuff happens. Don't fall for the sky is falling, right? We need to live. We need to have fun. Life is not 24 hours a day. Prepare for the apocalypse. Go enjoy a baseball game. Go enjoy a backyard barbecue. Go hang out with friends. Tell somebody you love them.
Amen.
It's one of those that we need to take the time now and spend time with our friends and our family and enjoy. Maybe we live a full life. Maybe the apocalypse is in 100 years and we won't see it. So get out there, have some fun.
Good information, good advice.
Yeah.
Mark, what you got for us?
Tell the ones you love that you love them. And look, I tell my family all the time, if you read in the paper about me dying in a hail of gunfire on the front porch of my home, know that that's not a crazy right winger. Okay. This is a man who believes in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, and he is willing to lay down his life for it. I am not a wacko. I am just a man who believes in the foundations of this country. And again, tell the ones you love that you love them.
Yes.
Yep, I agree. I don't think I can top that. So I'm going to end with, guys, if you don't subscribe to Prepper Now, check him out. He also does a news report, usually at least twice a day, on the Crisis Report. Okay,
Yep.
So that's 2 channels. Check both of them out. And when the video's over, I'll drop a link down in the description when it becomes like an actual video and that. So check him out. If you hit his live streams, you'll probably see me there unless the board doesn't send me a notification, which happens a lot. So thanks everybody for stopping by. Next week we are on Mark's channel, I believe. Yep. And same time, Sunday at 8 p.m. We will see everybody next week. Thank you for stopping by. Prepper Now, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. It's been awesome having you on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I really enjoy. Obviously, I stayed on longer than I should. I enjoyed talking to all you guys.
That's okay. We'll have to have you back on again sometime. So,
thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right, guys. It's been a good show. We'll see y'all next week.